Taxes. You've just finished a brutal month of work, putting in long hours at a local cafe. You're relaxing at home when the notification hits. You earned $2,000. But when you check your balance, you only see $1,460. You look at the breakdown. Federal tax, state tax, Social Security. It's the modern ritual of handing a slice of your life to forces you can't see, and they expect you to be happy about it. Here's the reality. Taxes are the subscription fee for society. Your money builds the highways, funds the schools, and ensures the street food you eat won't make you sick. There are different flavors: income tax on what you earn, sales tax on what you buy, and capital gains on what your investments grow. It's annoying, but usually the higher the tax, the better the public services.
Banks. You walk into a bank, hand over your cash, and a teller gives you a nod. You walk out thinking your money is locked in a high-tech vault. In reality, that money is already back out on the street. Most people view banks as a giant safe, but they're actually just middlemen. When you deposited that $1,000, the bank kept a tiny bit and lent the rest to someone else to buy a new car. This is fractional reserve banking. It works as long as we don't all show up at once asking for our cash back. If that happens, like in 2008, the whole house of cards collapses. Banks make a profit by charging borrowers way more interest than they pay you to hold your money. Interest. Imagine borrowing $1,000 and having to pay back $1,300. That extra $300 is interest. It's essentially rent for using someone else's capital. When you're the borrower, interest is the price of impatience. When you're the saver, interest is your reward for being disciplined. Simple interest is a flat fee, but compound interest is where the magic or the nightmare happens. It's when your interest starts earning its own interest. A credit card, it's a trap that turns a small bill into a mountain of debt. In an investment, it's a wealth engine that turns a small deposit into a fortune over time. Inflation. You go to buy a snack and realize the bag is smaller and the price is 20% higher than last year. You've been hit by inflation. It's the silent erosion of your wealth. Your $10 bill is still a $10 bill, but its muscle is gone. It buys less gas and fewer groceries. This happens when there's too much cash chasing too few goods. If everyone has money to buy the same TV, the shop just raises the price. To stop this, the government raises interest rates to cool down the economy and make people spend less. Recessions. A recession is when the economy goes into a timeout for 6 months or more. One day, things are booming. The next day, companies are freezing hires and people are cutting back to just the essentials. Why? Maybe interest rates got too high or a global crisis hit. Think of the economy like a marathon. Eventually, the runners get exhausted and need to walk for a bit. Recessions are painful resets, but they don't last forever. Eventually, growth returns, but usually with some scars left behind. Credit scores. Your credit score is a 3-digit number that tells the world if you're a person of your word. It decides if you get a house or a massive interest rate on a car loan. It's not about how rich you are. It's about trust. If you pay late, your score drops. If you use too much of your limit, it drops. It's like a digital reputation. You can have a bank full of cash, but if you've never borrowed money, your score might be trash because the system doesn't have a history to judge you by. Learn the rules of the game, and you can make the system work for you. The reality of money. The strangest thing about money is that it's technically an illusion. A $100 bill is just paper. It only works because we all collectively agree it has value. If we all decided tomorrow that seashells were the new currency, that paper would be worthless. Money is just a social contract built on trust. The government prints it, banks move it, and we trade our time for it. But if that trust breaks, the whole thing turns into monopoly money. Investing. Since inflation is constantly eating your cash, you have to fight back by investing. This is where your money stops sitting around and starts working a 24/7 shift for you. You can buy stocks, a piece of a business, bonds, loaning money for interest, or real estate. It involves risk, sure, but the biggest risk is actually doing nothing and watching your savings lose value every single year. The concept of value. Why does a rare diamond cost more than a common pebble? Because humans decided it's more valuable. This is the secret to getting rich. If you provide a service that is hard to find and highly needed, like a specialized doctor or a top-tier engineer, people will pay you a premium.
Value isn't always about how hard you work. It's about how much of a problem you solve for others.
Time? Time is the only resource you can't earn back. Most people trade their time for a paycheck, but the wealthiest people figure out how to leverage their time. In the world of finance, time is more powerful than luck. A small amount of money given 30 years to grow will always outperform a large amount given only 5 years. Start early, stay consistent, and let time do the heavy lifting.